Hi there, this is Meri at the.meri.atelier, and today is Wednesday, and it's around noon Central Time, and I am following along the BankBook project that Jeri, Tanya, and Lisa are doing. Now, this is an unlisted stream, which means that it's a project stream, and you won't see it until the fact. I'm not live while they're live. I'm just working along with them. I have my phone on and I'm listening to them in my head and I am working along. Now they've already started and I'm not sure. It looks like they're just preparing pages. It looks like they're have torn some book pages. They gave us a list of things. I will put a link to Jeri at Recycle Parts Art. That's who is filming this today. I'll put a link to her video. Well, I'll also put a link to Tanya and Lisa's channels so that you can see what we're working on. And it looks like Lisa was tearing out pages out of a book. I did choose a book that I got on the free library book table. It's an older book. I don't believe it's stitched. It might be stitched. It might be stitched in here. But I'm going to tear some of these pages out. It's called The Daughter of the Land. And this is oh, look, I can use this. If I were you, I wouldn't worry about me, Robert. There are many women in the world willing to pay for your consideration. Save it for them. Oh, I love this. Save BankBook. This book is dated copyright 1918, so I'm pretty sure that it's probably out of copyright and I can use it. There are no pictures in here. Save in the BankBook. Now, mine is not a BankBook. Mine is a little gypsy, Seven Gypsies book that I got several months ago when I ran away to Lincoln. I got two of these. I think I sent one to Packer Dye as part of a winnings. And I think that, well, let's see. This picture would just about fit in here. I think I'll keep it the same width. But I have ledger paper, and I'm going to follow along with them. And I'm going to use this Daughter of the Land. I think I will probably even use these. I'm going to take these out. Oh, look. Oh, look. It even has Christmas 1920. H.J. somebody. It looks like it's a I can't quite make out the last name. It ends in S-O-N. From D. Oh, how precious this is. So I'm going to save all of this front matter here. Daughter of the Land. And I might even save the contents page, which looks very interesting. Let's just take these out because look how easy they come out. This is an old book. This is 2019, and this book was printed in 1918. Copyright is 1918. So this book is 101 years old. So it is a very old book. And it's in fairly good condition as far as, oh, looks, to the bride, 2 letters. Oh, what an opportunity this is going to be to make this. Now I'm going to put my earbuds on and find out what they're doing. So I'm going to just be playing along with them. I'm just showing you some of the things that I got out. I found my skewer so I can get into my paint bottle with my tacky glue bottle. I was using my paintbrush to do this. I have postage stamps. I have some old buttons and broken jewelry in here. Oh, fun. I have some glossy accents. We were to find a napkin. I have some of these coin envelopes that I got from Jeri several months ago. And I had painted them and did some of my fine line applicator work. So I might use some of those. I thought I could age some of this. I have an envelope that I can insert. I have ledger paper. I just have all sorts of stuff that I can use. But it looks like they're tearing and making ephemera right now. So I'm going to go watch them for a minute, and maybe I'll just verbalize. It looks like they're using an ink. Let's see what they're doing here. Oh, they are inking the edges. They tore out some edges here. Let's see. So let's just go. Let's tear out a new idea. I love the chapter name, Starting Married Life. The Bride, 2 letters. I love the 2 letters. So maybe I can tear some text out of here that would make sense in my BankBook. Dearest Kate, I'm a day late with this because, as I told you, I have no schooling, and in writing a letter is where I prove it. Oh, I love that. I'm going to fold this over. I wonder if the other letter's in here. Jeri is saying to keep the strips the same width. A Sunbonnet Girl. History of a Leghorn Cat. Well, if I just quit reading the book and maybe start tearing some out. So this will be a book that I will be using for my mixed media. Now, my strips are going to tear very easy because this is a very old book. Let's see. I'm loving this already. I'm going to leave this margin. Let's put these pages back in here. Now, Jeri's saving the first page of her book. She's going to use the first full page spread. I think I will I'll go to this page because I want to use that front matter in the book here. So I'm going to go to this page. I've got some glossy accents. Now they are inking, and I think I'll use this yellow. This is Gathered Twigs. Oh, this will be a nice ink to use on this. So they are inking the edges of their. They are inking the edges of their little strips. I believe that's what they're doing. And they are using a little. I don't know if I want to use my sponge to do this. Let's get out a piece of wax paper. Do I need to move my camera? Let's move my camera this way a little. This way a little. One more. One more. One more. That's as far as it goes. So that means I need to move my project paper. Move my project paper a little. There. Now I put out several things to use, and I'm going to try to make mine as similar to theirs as possible, but I'm not sure I'll have everything that they have. Jeri probably still has some kits available in her Etsy store that if you want to follow along with this project, you can go to Jeri's channel and go to her Etsy store, and I'll bet you she has project kits available for this little BankBook. Mine is not a BankBook. I did not get the project this month, maybe another month. And I have to tell you, today is my run errands day, and we had snow last night. Now it's nice and sunny today, but it's cold out. There's no snow melting. So there's no snow melting. And I can't go tomorrow because tomorrow is Thursday, February 21st, and Becky McCauley at Aunt Beck's studio and Linda McAllister at Linda McAllister. Now, what am I saying? Becky at Aunt Beck's Creations and Linda McAllister at Linda McAllister, her channel, and Meri at the.meri.atelier are going to be doing a hangout. So I'm going to be doing a lot of art this week. I probably will not get to town until next week, which means that I still have all my letters to mail. All those giveaways are sitting on my desk, and I'm feeling very guilty, but it snowed out there. You're not going out in the snow. So I'm not sure I like using the sponge doing this because I feel like I get more ink on my sponge. Let's just rub some of this along the edges of this book, maybe even on the front pages here. This that I am using is Gathered Twigs Distress Oxide. Now this is water reactive. It's not a permanent, but I will probably be using medium over this anyway. So we'll just see how this goes. They're only inking one side of these. I think that's what they're saying. I'm going to let you, rather than tell you all the directions, I'm just going to work along with them. And if you want to see how they're doing this book, you need to go to Jeri's channel. I will put a link in the description box below. They're just chattering away over there. That's what happens when you get 2 or 3 artists together. That is why I enjoy these hangouts. You get to hear the voice in your head, you know, rather than reading the chat and it scrolls away. And I do like the live streams too, but live streams are the host presenting and everybody watching and chatting. I love our Zooms. When we Zoom, we get to see each other. Zooms are really fun, and you can have more than a couple people in the Zoom. So I'm really sold on the Zooms. But that's another story. I do enjoy doing the hangouts too. And they have to stop and read chat to. Now I'm going to stop on this. I think I'm going to. They're talking about hand cream. I put all sorts of hand cream on my hand last night because what was I working on yesterday? My hands were dry. They're inking. She's inking the edges. I had to take a drink of tea. They are using vintage photo. And they are saying their ink is non-permanent. Jeri's using brown stays on, which I have. So a couple of them are using this is non-permanent ink, but I will Gather Twigs. I like my ink. They're talking about their inks. I'm ready to move on. So ooh, I got some autofocus there. Let's look at my camera. Did I turn my autofocus off? Let's go turn my autofocus off. I think I forgot to turn off my autofocus. Yeah, it's on. There. All right. Yes. There. I think that's much better. All I did was ink these edges. Lisa's saying that her strips have a nice browning on the edge, and mine do too. This is an old book. This book is 101 years old that I'm using, but I went ahead and inked these because now I might use the long ones. I might use the uninked. Well, see, I might use these. I have to tell you, these pages already have not a nice brown texture to them. They are using an old BankBook. Now I'm pulling out my ledger paper here. I might ink some, while I'm waiting for them, ink up some of this ledger paper, and I don't care if let's rip it up. I might put some strips of this in here because they're using a BankBook that has numbers and everything on it. And you know what else I have? Jeri will recognize this when she sees it, if she watches this. She sent me, I ordered this huge, great big composition book from her. It's an old ledger. It's huge. But inside of that was this old newspaper. I think look at this picture. Isn't that a wonderful picture? I'm going to tear this out while I'm waiting for them. Now, this paper is dated 1909. So this also is very fragile. This paper is 110 years old. It's too bad I don't have an old vintage BankBook, but I'll use what I have. I want to take this picture out. Are they doing a weaving? It looks like they're doing a paper weaving. I'm not sure I'm going to do a paper weaving. I think I want to work on my ephemera in here. I just love this. Now, this isn't going to fit all the way on, but I love how old this page is. I can almost get her all on there. I love how old and fragile this page is. So let's tear it right here. They are weaving. They are weaving their paper strips. I'm not sure that I'm going to do the weaving. I might do it on a later page, but I want to put this front matter in here. Now, Jeri is saying that she's using a glue stick. to do this. Now, this is fragile paper. And I have found with fragile paper, using a glue stick will rip this. But I don't want to use wet glue either. I think I'm going to go for my double-sided tape on this. But I have to be pretty careful. I have to be very, very careful. And I think I want some ledger paper in here too. So I'm going to they are talking about weaving their pages. I am not going to weave pages, so I'm going to take my earbuds out for a minute because I'm talking and she's talking at the same time and it's driving me nuts. So what I'm going to do is I like this, initials and date, and I might get out an old lead pencil and write on this as if she would have written in 1909. So I am using a book that is dated. What did I say the copyright date on that book was? Let's look at that book again. That book, and of course I've got all my materials out and stacked up, so I've got to dig down to get the book here. The book is, copyright date is, I tore the copyright date out. Here it is. I love this. Christmas of 1920. The book is copyrighted, I believe, 1919, 1918. And my newspaper is dated 1909. So this is very early 19th century. I might go to that Time Life book and grab some images out of that if I can find some. But I'm thinking that I want a lead pencil, or I might use some black ink and my dip pen on this. Now, the ledger paper that I'm putting in here is newer ledger paper. This is not aged ledger paper. However, I do have some that, should I tear out of that book? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I am using some original. And this is, but my book is not original. I'm trying to decide. I have a ledger book that I ordered from Jeri. Let me show it to you if I can get to it quick. Here, let me look. Let me look. I'm not sure that I can get right at it. I might have put it away. No, here it is. Here it is. It's a day book. Now this gives me an opportunity to show you some of the things that I ordered from Jeri. Jeri has recycled parts for art shop, and she sells a lot of this. She goes to a lot of flea markets. But let's see, this is dated 1927. But this looks like it belonged to a doctor's office because they're talking about visits, examine wife, something self, visit something. But I love this handwriting, and it does have some numbers. So do I want to take a page out of here? I could right here at the back. Do I want to do that? 1933 here. I'll have to think about it. I'll keep it out and think about it. In the meantime, I heard, I think it was Lisa was saying that she used Stays On. Somebody's using archival Stays On, and somebody's using archival, somebody's using brown Stays On, and somebody is using archival brown sepia color. I think I want to age this. I could age it with watercolor. I could age it several different ways. Let me get some inks out here. of course, as I get working, I have to always reach over here and get materials that I think I need. Let's see what I have here. I have blue. Oh, here's some Ranger coffee paper. Maybe I'll use ink. Coffee ink. Maybe I'll use this because I won't want to dig for more. Now they're still working on their paper weaving page, and I'm not going to weave a page. I want mine to tell a story, sort of, and I'm not sure exactly how they're doing their theme, but I want mine to tell a story here of the name of the book was, the name of my book that I'm using is Daughter of the Land. I'm just going to have fun with this. But I am working along with them. But for me, paper weaving may come later, but I want to do my introductory pages here. And so this is acid-free, permanent, waterproof coffee Ranger ink. And I'm just going to age it a little. And as I age it, I'm going to age it in the center here too. Now, I almost want to go in and read parts of this story and maybe pull out some text that might even make sense on if I wrote it on there. And maybe I could practice my handwriting. Chapter 1, Wings of the Morning. Take the wing of morning. Ooh, take the wings of morning. Kate Bates followed. Oh, my brother's using the snowplow out there. If you hear the snowplow, he's right in front of my window. He does. I love him. I love my brother, my older brother. I didn't get a lot of family in my life, but my older brother is just, he's been a real rock in my life. And I love him. I have to laugh because sometimes he makes noises when I'm streaming. He'll cough and sneeze and blow his nose, and I've come to love that as much as I love my squeaky chair. And he just had to drive that snowplow right in front of my window. But I do say a lot of good things about my older brother because I have to say right here, because it's coming out of my mouth, is that he's been a rock. These last few years of my life have not been easy. He's given me a roof above my head, and family is everything. Let's put it that way, even if you only have one or two. I had to take some tea. Take the wings of morning. I love that. Kate March followed the narrow footpath, rounding the corner of the small country church, as the old minister raised his voice slowly and impressively to repeat the command he had selected for his text. Fearing that her head would be level with the window, she bent and walked swiftly past the church, but the words went with her, iterating and reiterating themselves in her brain. Take the wings of morning. I'm going to try to write that with my calligraphy pen, which happens to be out here because I was practicing it the other morning. And before I even glue that down, I am going to, this is the fine point. Whoops, where's my other calligraphy pen? Oh no, I want the broad one. Here it is. Take the wings of morning. And you know what? That wasn't the, I'm going to invest in some nice pens. That's not a calligraphy pen. Where's my other calligraphy pen? This is, see how ready I am for this? Is this it? Please be it. Pen plus gear, pen plus gear, pen plus gear, pen plus gear. I have all these pen plus gear pens. Where's my other? Well, you know what? We were experimenting the other day too with writing with, this is a calligraphy pen, but it's the fine point one. It's smaller. I want a wider one. And I can't find my wide one right now. But in our live stream, we were experimenting with, here it is, with using a chisel tip marker, which Susan said works just as well. But I'm going to use this one. Yeah, it's got a wider tip. And I'm going to use that phrase out of chapter 1, the very first sentence, take the wings of morning. And, you know, I have not practiced my, let's practice. Let's just practice on here. Let's practice on this sheet of paper, and I might use it later. So T, oh, no, that's not going to work. T, and then my friend that I'm watching, Pierre Gustafson, I'll put a link to his, he's doing calligraphy out of quotes. Now, I don't like that T at all, but when he comes down this way, he'll go like this, and he makes all these wonderful, wonderful marks. And then he'll come back in and he'll write smaller. T-A. Now, I might need that other pen to write smaller. Let's get the other one to do the smaller writing. T-A. Take. And he writes it just, he's so free about it. I'm take wings of morning. Morning being daylight, daybreak. Now let's practice my T's a little. Let's see if because I am going to be working on a smaller page here. Maybe this one will make more sense. Let's practice my T a little. Maybe if I come down like that, only move this up a little more like that. Let's see. And then come down, and instead of making this like that, let's go like this. And then come like that. I love how he does that. I want to learn that technique. You're going to see me practicing probably my ABCs, trying to learn how. I'm calling him Pierre, P-I-E-R. I'm not sure that's how he pronounces his name. I haven't heard him say his name yet. I just started watching him. And what caught me was he's doing these calligraphy videos out of the Bartlett's quote book, and I have that book. Let's practice that T again. I'm going to come like this, and then up and down, and then I'm going to see, I don't do those beautiful swirls. Swirls. He does beautiful swirls. And I don't quite have my T like I like it. So they're still working on their page weaving, so I've got time to practice this. And then up and down and swirl it. I think I'll try it. I mean, what can I do? I can mess it up. So we're going to start up in here. See, my hand's shaking. My hand is shaking. I don't want to mess it up. It's only paper, Meri. It's only paper. And I still have my squeaky chair. And I have to tell you, I'm beginning to love the little squeaks. I think I'll start talking to them. Okay. And I will probably, somewhere in here, YouTube has been buffering an awful lot lately on all channels. It's very irritating. But I will probably buffer at one point in here. I hope I don't lose connection altogether. That happened to me once too, in a project stream, and I lost the last half of the project. So what I might do is do this in more than one part so that it doesn't drop me. But let's write this. Let's write this. Let's just loosen up, Meri. goes like this. Take, I can practice it a couple times. See, I hesitate because I have to think, and he doesn't think. He just writes, and you can tell that he's he's selling some of his fountain pens, and at this point, I can't. I'm very thirsty. At this point, I cannot invest in expensive fountain pens, so I'm using this calligrapher's manuscript. It's a felt tip. And I'm going to use it in this book probably, but when I was practicing this the other morning on my live, and Susan Gerald said, why don't you just use a chisel tip marker? And I might do that in my journals. All right, so I figured out how I want this to look. Now I just have to write it. So let's do it. I've practiced it several times. Let's go, Meri. Oh, I like that. So you come up and down and, oh, I like that. It's not perfect, but it's getting there. So now I want to do A, K, and take, I don't like that E, but I'm going to leave it, the wings. Maybe if I go a little slower. Now I got some wax paper on here. I'm not totally comfortable on my desk. Take the wing. It has to be an S. Can I get an S out of there? I'm going to do this again. Morning. Take the wings. That's not too bad, is it? Take the wings of morning. I could do this on the back, but see, I wanted this to show. So let's get another page. Let's do this again. I'm going to tear this all out again. Maybe I should write it before I tear it, but no. I'll ink it after I tear it. Take the wings of morning. And it looks like they're still attaching their weaving page. So I'll go back and listen to them after. Now I like my toward edges. I'm tearing toward me, and that leaves a white edge there. If you tear away from you, the white edge goes on the back, but that's a well-known technique. I want to tear it about to the size of this page, and I want those numbers on there. And if you tear a little bit at a time, you get these really short curvies in here. If you tear it straight, a big swoop at a time, you get more of a smoother tear. But I want my numbers on there, and that was a pretty thin tear. Let's see. Let's tear it right about in here. Now, if I tear it this way, well, if I tear it toward me on this side, see, I want the tears to show in here. So I'm just tearing it down. That's pretty good. Now I just want a little tear in here, so I may, and you could tear this with a ruler too, but I like to tear this stuff by hand. I really do. I do think I'll tear from this side on this, just because I can manipulate it easier. There. Now I got scraps for my totally junk journal. And of course, I pile everything on top of my wastebasket. I can't throw my scraps away. All right. So I'm going to do this Take the Wings of Morning again. You would think I would get that. All right. So we're going to talk. Take. I should probably put the lid on my ink. Take. Whoops. Well, let's do it then. And since I'm just going to come around with my swirls. Let's see. Let's start in there. Take. That's okay. I don't want to do 10 of these. Take the And I'm not getting the thick and thin on this, but that'll come with practice. Wings. And if I go slower, I have more time to think about the thin, the thick, in, G, S. Now I want to do a wings of, and then I'm going to do morning. I got my papers warped here. I got more than one sheet. I'm going to pull that second sheet out. It's bothering me here. Morning. M O R N I. Hopefully I'll have enough room on here. And now if I can get this G in here pretty. Morning. That's good enough for Meri. Meri's just beginning. She's just learning. But you know what I'm going to do? Can I do the tablecloth pull? Let's get the tea off of it. Let's get the glue off of it. I've got more than one sheet. And that's bothering me. Because I have this, I'll have to rearrange everything. I have these sketches that I want to finish up my 29 faces from 2018. I started these. That's for another project, another day. It looks like they're starting another page, but I'm just going to continue on in mine. This video that they're doing, I've got my eyeglasses here. This video that they're doing is an inspiration to me. I like to work along with people, but sometimes paper weaving for me, for the introduction of this book, and I could put this in the back, but I'm not sure where I want this book to go. So I might do paper weaving later because I've got several pages. Now they're working out of a BankBook, and I think Jeri said there were 6 pages. And I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 full pages, which would be 32 pages, front and back. So I'm skipping these because I want to put the introductory material there. I'm going to put this lady in here, and I'm going to take the wings of morning here. So let's get out my wax paper again and ink this page up. I have been going about 45 minutes. I might end this video after I'm looking for my other sponge. That's what happens when you do the tablecloth pull. You lose things. Oh, I guess this is what I was using. I might end this video after an hour or maybe an hour and a half, or when I get to a good stopping point, because I'm just so afraid of it dropping me. And I can't tell if I'm recording. It looks like I might be, but sometimes that clock keeps going and my internet connection isn't. And I could get on my other phone and check to see by signing into my channel, sending myself the link. But I'm not quite ready to do that yet. And an hour-long video for one page in here is, maybe I'll just end it after this page. And then I'll pick it up with another stream. You might see more than one project stream today. This is an unlisted stream, which means I film this with an unlisted live stream. And I don't edit it. You are getting it as I am talking. Now, I really like this darkened in here. Maybe I'll go in with some black. Got all my scrap paper here. That'll go in my totally junk journal if I don't use it in here. Let's see. I'm digging for my black ink. I've got black and red. Red might be fun to put in here too, but we're going to stick with the vintage colors because this is antique-y. So let's do a little black around here. Ooh. Yeah. Let's just darken this a little along the edges. And it wouldn't hurt to even get some more of this brown and darken this in here. We don't want this page to look brand new, even though it is. This is ledger paper that I got at the office supply store. But the picture certainly is a 1909 picture. And look at the roses on here. I'm going to have to get out that book for our doodle swap, that big composition book, and take some pictures out of it. Now that looks very choppy. If I can smooth that out a little. That's okay. I guess I should probably quit. All right. Let's put this black on the black and brown on the brown so I don't get that all mixed up. And it looks like they might be moving to another page, but I'm going to finish up my page. Now, do I want to ink any of this or do I want to leave it? I think I'm going to leave it just at, maybe I'll ink the page underneath. Let's grab that brown. This is coffee. And I'm just going to ink. So Jeri, Tanya, and Lisa, I am working along with you. I might have to go back later and do the weaving page. For my book right now, the weaving page is not the place to do this because I'm starting at the front. I might put the weaving page in later. I really want this a lot darker. This is a Seven Gypsies book, and I don't have the information with it. I think I used it in a junk journal someplace. Let's continue that. Sometimes I just like to do this. Sometimes it's just faster, and I get that darker. I get that darker ink on it when I do it this way, which I love. I love that darker ink. And I don't waste everything that's on my sponge. Sometimes it frustrates me that I got all that ink there. That's good ink that I paid money for. Well, my goodness, all the sidewalks are plowed. I'm going to try Friday morning. I can't tomorrow morning because we're going to do our hangout. But Friday morning, I might try to get out of here and go to the post office, run my errands. I have my monthly bills to pay. Yeah, I'm liking this. Don't have to do it too much on this side. I'm liking how it leaves the little lines in there. All right, let's stop on that. The only thing with that tape that I use, I'm not sure that it's archival. I'm really hesitant to use it on here because I'm not sure that I could use it on here. But I'm not sure that tape is archival. I'm not even sure that my glue stick is archival. Elmer's glue. School glue. Extreme school glue. You have to be very, very careful when you use a glue stick on old papers, because you have to go slow, because if you go too fast, you will rip the paper. It's very old and it's very fragile. I learned that on my needlecraft in my journal. And I may have to go in and repair. I'm trying to do the edges first. I might have to go in and repair it later. By repair, I mean glue down some that's not sticking. Just take it slow, Meri. And let's glue down here some in the center now. Yeah, I guess I just opted for the glue stick, didn't I? Let's put this down in here. Now, this picture came out of that 1909 newspaper that was in the composition book that I ordered from Jeri. Jeri, that was the giant composition book. And she was going to throw those newspapers away. Jeri! I hope she's changed her mind by now, because they are very, very much can still use them. We'll see what she does. I jumped all over Tanya because she threw away some photos. See, this needs a lot. Now I can put a lot more glue on here than I could on the back of that. So it'll have to be mended as I go. When I say mended, I mean more glue applied. I could use Yes Paste on my page. That would work too. But we're just using this because I wish that the Yes Paste people would make a glue stick. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe I'll write to them and say, you need to put Yes Paste in a glue stick form that we can use for our glue books and our art journaling. Maybe I'll write to them. All right, now this, I think I'm going to use my double-sided tape on. If this eats through this, I don't mind as much. If this tape is not archival. This is Ms. Sparkles tape. I highly doubt that it's archival because it's a cheaper branded tape. But I like it. It's a strong adhesive. I like using it because it's cheap enough that I can use it as much as I want. Now, the inch stuff, I do not use as much of the inch wide. I like the 1/4 inch, but sometimes I can't find the 1/4 inch. So I am going to put this page down. It looks like they're moving on to some of their images. I'm going to take a listen here to what they're doing. And I will probably stop this video after I get this page done. And I may restart it and start on another page depending on what they're working on. We'll see what they're working on. So I'm getting inspired by them. I'm watching their stream while I'm doing this. But I'm not exactly following their techniques because it's not really fitting what the direction I want this book to go. I want this book to kind of tell a little story of my own. There, take the wings of morning. Oh, I love it. Now I'm wanting to put some ink around that paper. Can I do, is that my black? That's my black. That's okay because that's just okay. But I'm wanting to age this. Oh, I'm loving it. I am loving this. And I really don't mind too much if this tears off. I'm hoping it doesn't, but if it does, that's what newspaper does, and it's going to tear off. I'm going to take it off. Maybe I can get the rest to glue down, but it's just an old book. It's an old paper. It would have been tossed if I would not have said, please send me the papers in there. I don't care if it costs. She sent it media mail, so that helped. Look at this. I think she did. I've ordered it a couple years ago already now. I think she probably sold them all. Big composition books. So let's see. Let me listen to what they're doing here. I took my earbuds out so that I could talk. Looks like, what is she using? Tissue paper? I got to put my masking tape. Jeri's working on a page. She's doing a masking tape page. She's just putting masking tape down on the page. I might do that. What I'm going to do right now, though, is stop this video. This is my first page. And I think I'm going to continue with this calligraphy in here because it combines the techniques that I'm in now. And I'm watching Jeri's, and I'm pulling from the BankBook, and I've got all sorts of things to use in here. So this is the first page. I'm very, very, very happy with it. So I'm going to stop this video. I'm going to stop this stream, and I'm going to go start another one, and I'm going to follow along with Jeri's masking tape technique, I think. We'll see how that goes. I'll have to dig out my masking tape. Oh, look, it's right here. Okay, I will see you on the next page.